everybody. It's me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to this week's edition of the Timmy Flyersguy podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about one of the worst Flyer seasons I have ever experienced. The 2006-2007 Philadelphia Flyers season. And we're gonna go all the way back to 2005-2006. The 2005-2006 Flyers team had a lot of promise. They had guys like Peter Forsberg, Darren Hatcher, Mike Richards, and Jeff Carter, who in the prior year, which was a lockout season, Carter and Richards won the Calder Cup, along with goaltender and Tyrone Dimaki. The Philadelphia Flyers, 05-06 season, went very well, but the playoffs were a completely different story. The Flyers were eliminated by the Buffalo Sabres. The Flyers lost the first game in overtime, then lost the second game in a blowout loss. They managed to win games 3 and 4 to tie the season up 2-2. Flyers lost Game 5 and then lost Game 6 and were eventually eliminated from the playoffs with the Sabres. The following year after that, the Philadelphia Flyers were entering their 05-06 season. The Flyers got a lot of different players on this team. Guys like Jeff Sanderson. Randy Robitaille, Lars Johnson, Noah Baumgartner, and Kyle Calder. This was probably one of the toughest seasons for players Jeff Carter and Mike Richards. This was considered their sophomore slump. The Philadelphia Flyers lost the first game of the season. Only had one win in the preseason, and that was against the Devils. They lost to the Capitals in a blowout loss, which saw Mike Richards and Alexander Ovechkin get into an altercation during the game. The Flyers then lost the remaining preseason games. In the first game of the season, the Flyers were shut out by the Pittsburgh Penguins in Pittsburgh. Flyers' next game was against the New York Rangers. I remember going to this game. It was a great game. Flyers played well. Made it to a shootout that lasted 11 rounds. Eventually, the Flyers lost to the Rangers in the shootout. The following game against the Rangers, the Flyers beat the Rangers. And then things started going downhill from there. Flyers lost to the Penguins at home. They got blown out. And then they lost their following games. Their only victory that I recall was against the Atlanta Strikers. In November, they played the Sabres. Philadelphia Flyers. They would although managed to come back in time to score the 4. 3 to 10. Whatever the score was, they tied it up, made it to overtime, but then lost in overtime. Go by Timmy Flyersguy, who was a Buffalo Sabre at the time. But this also wasn't as bad as their last game against the Sabres, which they lost 7-1 in Buffalo. Flyers also won the game in October against the Blackhawks. The Flyers losing ways continued. I myself expressed a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, and a lot of rage at what happened. This is by far one of the worst seasons ever. The Flyers didn't even make the playoffs. Their record was not good at all. They were not a thought above 500 team. But in this season, the Flyers did have some shining lights. A conqueror trade. The Flyers traded Peter Forsberg for Ryan Parent and Scotty Upshaw. Scotty Upshaw and Ron Promise scored an overtime goal against the Boston Bruins. The Flyers also signed free agent goaltender Martin Biron. The Flyers went through what you call goalie carousel. They had Michael Leighton for a brief period of time. Michael Leighton for a brief period of time. They had Robert Ash, Mimman, and Jerry Mackey. Marty Biron was signed as a free agent for the Philadelphia Flyers. Had a long promise, but the season didn't end badly. The Flyers did manage to win the last game of the season, which was a 4-3 win against the Buffalo Sabres on Easter Sunday. The Flyers season ended, and that was it for one of the worst seasons ever. Like I said, I experienced a lot of frustrations. On social media, a lot of people were angry. I myself was outraged at this season. But we all knew that there was a silver lining at the end of the tunnel. Because after the 06-07 season, the Philadelphia Flyers signed Jason Smith from Edmonton, Kimmo Timonen from Nashville, and Scott Hartnell from Nashville as well, along with Joffrey, Lupul, and the icing on the cake, Danny Briere. The Flyers also had a great season, with Mike Richards and Jeff Carter. The Flyers eventually made the playoffs that year. They didn't get too far, but they played much better than they did in the 06-07 season. Now, there's a lot of debates. Some people might think that the 2013 season was the worst. That the 2014-2015 season was the worst. 2016-2017 was the worst. But in my opinion, this was the worst season because I experienced it all firsthand of how bad the 06-07 Flyers were. And believe me, There were nights I started just screaming at the TV. I even got so mad, I started cursing and yelling at the team to play better. This season was one of the most stressful seasons I've ever been a part of. And that was a different Timmy Flyersguy. Back then I was a mess. Let me tell you, not just me. Every Flyers fan that season wanted to rip their hair out. I myself wanted to, but I can't reach my hand. Since I'm disabled, I can't really reach the top of my head with my own hand. So, the whole street of Philadelphia were up in arms. There were fights on social media. There were battles on social media. It got crazy. And this was only the MySpace era. Things got out of hand pretty quickly. But it all turned around in the end. The Flyers had a tough season. But you can't count them out. Because they tried hard. Things got tough. A lot of injuries happened. A lot of guys went down. The most, especially Terry Rocky, who kept having problems with growing. But as a Flyers fan, we go through this. We have seasons where we're not that good. We have seasons where we don't even make the playoffs. But in a way, we're all a family. We experience happiness when they win. We all experience anger when they lose. And we all experience heartbreak when things don't go our way or don't go their way. Because this is the city of Philadelphia, and we're very passionate about our sports. And we take it like it's a big loss. But at the end of the day, we're all together in this, no matter what happens. Thank you for listening to my podcast. I hope you all have a great weekend, a great day, and I hope you all take care of each other, and I hope you all stay safe, because right now, the city is on lockdown because of COVID, so if you're going to go outside, wear a mask, wash your hands, and be careful. Do not go out in big crowds, because we all want to keep each other safe. Thank you.